Monday, August 8th. It's like 12:03 a.m. I stayed up because I was gonna do work, but I spend most of the day. It's funny because so I finally recorded the course that I'd been working on. I finally completed it, so now I just have to upload it. So I'm so grateful for it. But the video, the video that posted yesterday was chapter 52, episode 7, learning how to set up mini courses. So I just finished recording the first mini course, and the video today that just opened up is how to build my business. It's the dream where I'm being shown all the steps. So now I'm actually putting it into practice, right? So I just think it's funny. So anyways, I'm trying to give my computer a break because it's been on for a long amount of time. That's why I kind of put my work on the back burner, but regardless, ¿cómo se llama? And so I decided to read a little bit more about this book. And I realized, I mentioned I'm North Node in Leo. And as I'm reading this, I realized that my ex is also a North Node Leo, only that his is in the first house, which is the house of the self. So in essence, he's supposed to balance out doing things for himself, being the center of attention for himself, but also balance that out with relationships, because the opposing house of the first house is the 7th house, which is the house of partnership, marriage, relationships. So I'm reading a lot of this and I'm just like, oh my gosh, these are challenges that he and I had in our marriage. Like gifts, for example, giving love and generosity. And because I was listening, that Leo North Node people are learning how to give love. And they are finding out that when they initiate the generosity of giving in all forms, whether it's financially or emotionally, the other person will give back to them the happiness of the feeling of love that can be shared. So anyways, it talks about how I used to give with the expectation of getting back. And I remember I struggled with that, and then I stopped giving. And then I shifted to just giving just because, right? Without expectation. And that helped. But there's this part that says we can also get into trouble because sometimes we give in order to look good or to get the attention of their peers, right? Hence why I would overgive a lot. Or I would be of service too much. And sometimes that leads to me us not giving from our heart, and the other person feels it's not a true gift. So this reminded me of when my ex, someone would plant the seed in his head to do something for me, and then I find out about it, and it breaks my heart. It would break my heart because I'm just like, oh, so it didn't come from you. It wasn't your idea, the desire to want to give to me. It was because someone implanted the idea in your head, and you're like, oh, that sounds like a good idea. Okay, I'm gonna do it. And I could tell the difference. Like, I could tell when it was something he really thought about versus something that someone would tell him what to do. And so it says that I could feel that it wasn't a true gift. And so, yeah, that really impacted me feeling loved. So the other part that was highlighted for me was the fact that I guess in a past life, we're used to being the ones who help other people shine. So it makes us feel uncomfortable when we're not. As much as we desire being admired or being in the spotlight, we tend to put other people on a pedestal, allow them to take center stage and direct the show. But it creates a lot of problems because then the other person's ego gets pretty inflated. Yeah, that happened to me. But it also blocks intimacy. Because then there's this element of instead of me taking action to create more joy and excitement, I'll tend to sit back and wait for the other person to initiate, which was a big challenge. But the thing was that I overdid it. I over initiated, and there was no reciprocity in his interactions with me, which would push me then away. It would make me block my intimacy, because I'm just like, shoot, I'm giving, and I'm not. There's nothing that's fueling it back, you know. The other thing that struck me was that in this lifetime we are supposed to embrace, the lesson is that everyone is special just by virtue of having the life force through us. That just by being an individual, no one else can be as good as we are. So as I read that, it reminded me of a thought that I used to have in third grade. Second, third, like it was every year for the first 3 years of school. So in elementary school, oh God, I'm getting tired. I think I might go to sleep. In elementary school, so I mentioned that I grew up very religious, and I only remember getting dressed up for Halloween once when I was little, and I was in kindergarten, I think, and I was a butterfly, and my brother was a bee. He hated the stinger. I remember I loved my outfit, and we had a party. That was the only time. Every year after that, we didn't dress up anymore. Like my mom was, that's the devil's work, right? But in elementary school, you're still required. They used to do the parades, and so everybody had to walk through in front of the judges and get judged, and they would give the prize to the one with the most creative costume, the one with the most scariest costume, right? But everybody had to walk, and I remember thinking, why the F do I have to walk? I didn't say F when I was little, but I remember thinking like, okay, there's definitely a discrepancy. Like there's a few of us that school didn't understand that not everybody celebrated Halloween. And then there was another part of me that secretly wanted to win just by being me. I remember, I'm like, I'm special. Like if people were just to see me, I would know I'm special. I just remember wishing that, I'm like, if they could just have a trophy for the most unique. I secretly desired that trophy. That's what it triggered. I remember there was this girl in my first and second grade class. Her name was Erica. Beautiful blonde hair, like she had bangs, straight hair. Her grandmother sewed the most beautiful costumes, and she won every year. And I remember being in awe of how creative the costume would come out. and there was jealousy. There was like, envy. There was envy of like, wow, like that'd be so cool, right? To have that experience, because we weren't allowed to dress up. And as an adult, I think I dressed up once, maybe, and went to a Halloween costume once. Yeah, as an adult, my brother hosted a party, and I think that was the only time that I could remember. I mean, I don't know. Could have dressed up before. But after reading that sentence, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm getting flashbacks of kindergarten. So, and just the awareness, right, that my ex also has his North Node in Leo. And so we were both Leo North Nodes, just in different houses. And it goes back to taking ownership of creating passion, creating something for ourselves, simply for the sake of creating, right? So anyways, it's just, again, just I think the healing part and the awareness of, it's a great book. Totally recommend it. Totally recommend it. Okay. Hey you, my name is Yubi and I use she, they pronouns, and you've just finished watching a clip from my video diary entries where I'm documenting my healing journey as I learn how to navigate my spiritual awakening. I have learned that this experience and process is unique to each and every one of us in whatever way we are embracing living our truth. This just happens to be my journey. And despite me having a graduate degree and a license in clinical social work, this by no means is intended to replace any type of formal mental health advice. This is just me on a personal level, shedding light on the truth that I am learning and discovering for myself as these experiences unfold, and really inviting you along for the ride. Please know that there is a time gap between when these videos post and my real timeline, and also that these clips build upon each other similar to chapters in a book. So if you find yourself lost or confused, feel free to click on the playlist section or the link below, where you can jump around, check out the other chapters, and or catch up. Also, please know that you're more than welcome to check out my website, www.youbecominghealed.com, where I've gathered all of this information, my background, experience, and education to create online self-paced courses to help you on your healing journey wherever you are. You're also more than welcome to check out my other YouTube channel at You Becoming Healed, where I've entertained a podcast, including clips from these courses so that I can make this content accessible to more and more people. Please click like, subscribe, and share this content so again it reaches more people, with the hopes that other people will resonate and connect with the healing journey and the stories shared so that they don't feel alone in their own process. I thank you in advance. I'm grateful to you, and I wish you well.